train. I didn't even get to speak about my favorite skin there. I'm going to be jumping off and going to go redeem that, so I'll leave you for this whole game, and I'll go redeem and play for the new skin. But no, we'll jump into this game. We're going to be going over towards Purgatory, the best map of them all, and we're going to be seeing House Electric here. Skip on over away from the high loot zone, and they're going to be going over towards Forge, which is an interesting choice. I'd probably pick the high loot zone over them, but as we can't see the map, I'm not too sure.
It's electrifying. I'm curious to see whether or not Zed is going to be able to zippity-zap his opponents away.
Ugh, yeah.
Yeah, that was an awful one. That was awful.
Oh, but you know what? Ski Lodge, it has actually, may well be called Ski Lodge, but it's currently House of Fire, as it were, over there. Up towards the northern side, we can see it's actually got Team Smoke and also Team Crystal, or House Crystal, up towards that northern side, going towards Crossroads and around the area. Over towards Brasilia, we have got House Electric, and House Smoke going to be duking it out, seeing which team is going to be able to come out on top. And then we also have another house looking to fight it out over towards Sentosa.
Let's go, Zed. I'm waiting for this zippity zap. You know, I've called it. I feel like we're going to see it. Definitely going to be keeping my eye on this player as well. I'm just looting up as many resources as possible towards the early stages of this game. You see, first blood has already been drawn, Tom.
Oh, there we go. We're going to be seeing Sergio getting a kill, and it is going to be on, I think that's Giva. I can't even quite see the name there properly, but I think that is going to be the case. From House Smoke, actually, from Venom Entertainment's team, who were actually one of the first teams to get torn apart before, and it looks like they are in a horrendous position. You can see that Venom Entertainment is just by himself at the moment in the middle of the channel. And then we've got a couple of his teammates over towards the west of Sentosa, knocked out under a bridge. They didn't pay the troll toll.
That's not a situation you want to be in, really, is it? That's really disappointing, I would say. I don't mean to sound too harsh, but that's probably one of the worst places that you could have been knocked down.
Yeah, and you know what? This is like back to back. I mean, Venom's going to be down to one teammate, and it's actually just going to be him and himself.
Didn't this happen last map as well?
Yeah, exactly that. So Basu, he's going to be representing House Fire under his team. He is actually disconnected right now for some reason in Ski Lodge, but he has a quote up, so I'm sure he's going to be jumping back in game. But let's go and have a look at another team here. Oh, it's actually we're just going to have a look around the model. So
look at the trail of effects as well. I love the color of the glows, and I'm definitely going to take credit for the fact that my eye makeup definitely deliberately matches this color scheme.
Yeah, imagine having those leggings imagine if that actually glowed when you wore them.
We have to do it. Free Fire, make it happen.
Yeah, do magic. So let's have a look at this map. We should have the circle coming in fairly shortly, if I'm right in saying. I hope it just lands on Brasilia, because it'd be fun just see everyone how to go over there. Or, you know what? Water circle? Anyone?
Oh, yes, I'm crossing my fingers for it. Let's make it happen. You can see we have Sasuke from the side of House Fire. Are you going to be able to bring the heat, though? As a lone soldier, though, I don't know if I'm a fan of this. I don't like it managing to, hit a couple shots here and there, but as soon as they have their teammates ready for backup, that's where things get a little bit dangerous and a little bit interesting. Especially considering how far away the rest of your teammates are from you. Not really a situation that you want to be placed in.
Yeah, well, hopefully Suzuki is going to be able to do some damage to them and maybe even get knocked down, but have to keep in mind that obviously G3 are a pro team, and they are representing the House Electric, fairly exclusive level skin. Ooh, I thought he was going to get knocked down there. It does a bit crazy. He's going to get knocked down by one of his teammates, to Ronaldo from CR7. And this is actually going to be, I think, pushing them into just actually going for the aggressive play, which is an interesting one, because Suzuki's still by themselves.
Mm-hmm. I feel like this is like a make or break situation for them. This is not what you want to be happening. You need to make sure that you're there with your teammates because, okay, yes, fair enough, you've managed to secure another knockdown, but things could have gone terribly wrong if you ended up being eliminated from the get-go, and then that leaves your teammates in a little bit more of a tricky situation. But you know what? You got the kill. Fair enough. I'll let you off for now.
I will say, My disappointment from last game is still represented in this one, and that is a water circle in the making. Come on, let's do it. Let's make sure that
make
lands
it
over
happen.
there. But
make
G3,
it happen.
G3, I'm pretty disappointed in that, and this is actually going to be the respawn mechanic coming in here. And so we're going to be seeing multiple members come back into the game. But unfortunately for them, they're not going to have a good time because they're about to have to face off against something extremely hard and made of crystal, and that is going to be House of Bustamundo.
Ooh, Bustamundo know exactly what to do and how to do it. We saw them pop off in that previous game, but whether or not they're able to follow through and make it happen once again, I'm liking the fact that we're finally making use of vehicles now, Tom. We spoke about this time and time again in previous events and tournaments and things like that people weren't really utilizing those vehicles anywhere near enough to make sure that they're getting a little bit closer into the safe zone, transporting themselves to maybe gather some more loot around different areas around the map. So I'm really, really happy to see that that is finally being used by some of these teams.
Oh, all right. Okay, let's see what they're going to be able to do in this situation. House Electric versus House of Fire. It's going to be Grub Esports, the winners of the previous game, going to be pushing up here. But Janito from Bustamundo side on House Electric is going to be able to get a knockdown and maybe even a flush if they're lucky. Notasaurus is going to be able to get picked up. It's going to have to be Gringotts trying to take those shots from a distance. Janitos has been taken down, a little bit unfortunate for his side, but his team had abandoned him essentially. House Fire sticking together and prevailing. We have also got Team Smoke coming up.
Dear, we have House Electric going up against House Fire going up against, I think it was maybe House Smoke as well. So I feel like we're bringing all the elements together right now, Tom, and it's about to make a really, really interesting affair.
Electric, fire, smoke, crystal. Some random epic voiceover like that. And Grub Esports looking to do fairly well there. Obviously repping the good old fire house there. And they're going to be able to just walk away from this situation fairly happy. Couple of kills under the belt. Vaser not going to be taking too many shots, any shots over towards them. They've got 3 kills of their own. And a couple of weapons as well. Sitting out here in the open is probably not the best move, but Reverb is just showing off his skin. Like, that just looks sick to me. I love that.
Oh my god, look at the, glowing effect through the clothes as well. Oh my word. I'm one of those people that's it's the little details that really make you appreciate something. And, I love the trail, I love the glowing of the pattern along the sleeves and the leggings as well. Huge fan of it. And I'm pretty surprised that the teammates aren't just stood there admiring the view.
Yeah, it's like that, like a Medusa stare. If they look at it for too long, they just get stuck there and have to stare at it. So
maybe that's what happened. Reverb just looked into a mirror, and that's what's happened right now.
It's even got that nice looking puzzle free fire pan. So we're going to be seeing the circle continue to move down south actually. So it has shifted further down. That was actually one of the hardest hard shifts you could get. Was it to go further south? And Jenny Charlie, they had no one. They weren't fighting against anyone, and yet they're still struggling to be able to make it in. Except for good old Yasmin, who has made her way in from Foxera Rosa, and they are now in the danger zone. They really haven't got anything sort of going their way.
I feel like it's just bad luck, right? Surely, you know what? It's not one of those instances where we have loads of maps for them to play. Unfortunately, it is only 3 of these maps, which means you got to get comfortable. You got to get comfortable real quick in a scenario, in a situation like this, going up against these teams. There's not really much room for error in a situation like this. So, you know what? I kind of put it down to, okay, first map is your warm-up game, but second map now, really, really silly mistakes are being made, especially when you're not actually being contested for a set area, not being contested for loot, or going up against other opponents. I think it's a little bit of a dire mistake on their front.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a little bit painful for them, but let's move on. Pastor and her team for House Fire are just going to be sitting in some of these houses on the waterfront, but they are going to have to move momentarily. There's a player from House Electric, I'm not sure which one it is, directly below the camera right now, as we can see on the minimap, but we can see a couple of the other teams just sort of spread out and looking to do what they can in this one. We have Vaser, aka House Smoke, looking to cross a bridge and make their way over on towards onto another island here. Can't quite tell which island they're going on to. Well, it should be the mainland, actually.
We just appreciate how flashy that car really was. I'm like, just like, why does everything in this game look so pretty?
Well, you know, if you're going to do it right, and Free Fire definitely have a good way of doing that, so...
No! Things are not looking good for the side of Vossmundo. Okay, we've gone from complete calm, cool, calm, collected, to now House Crystal are struggling. The pressure is being placed on them. They're already one player down. Alex does not have a whole lot of HP to work with. He is managing to heal up ever so slightly, but now the grenades start raining down, and I'm really scared if one of those land, as it does right then, he gets knocked down, and unfortunately he's unable to get back up again, as he does not have Lockout to back him up, provide some cover, provide something in some way, shape, or form. He's just left his teammate for dead.
I think that's fair enough. Lockout knows when to disengage, cut off the losses, and just runs away. He had Vaysera there pushing in on him, and luckily one of the team members of Vaysera got knocked by Team House Fire there. So that was a pretty good move on that side. We have got Vaysera representing House Smoke trying to do their best here. They have cleared out this house. As they managed to kill one of the other Mundo members and leaving Lockout to jump out a window and run for the hills, or the trees as it were, actually.
I like this kind of confidence from Reverb as I say that, though, just being knocked down like it's absolutely nothing by Sasuken. And Simo's being knocked down as well. Okay, Sasuken, we see you. Damn.
Yeah, I mean, they're coming into this confident. Last game, they did fairly terribly. I think they got wiped out. Well, they didn't terribly. They didn't do very good, though. But there's going to be two of the Vaysera members knocked out for the count. It's going to be Reverb and Natives to try and clutch this out in a 2 versus 4 situation, which is going to be difficult. They have had their teammates flushed out now, and these guys have switched, and Reverb is in a car, and he's going. That is going to be House Smoke disappearing off, fading into the distance, turn into a cloud of smoke. There you go.
I feel like House Fire in a situation like that, definitely on fire. And you know what? Rightly so, Reverb should be deciding to, remove yourself from the situation, try and get to safely as quickly as you can.
Yeah, and I mean, well, you know what they say, where there's fire, there's smoke. Something like that. I think it's actually where there's smoke, there's fire. I was like, hey. Well, not anymore, because they've disappeared off and Neves has just been taken down, so that smoke is getting dissipated very early on. And now we're going to be seeing Team Crystal come on over and look to finish off this play. So this is going to be Yasmin who might be able to get the kill here. It's going to be a bit of a 4 versus 1 situation with Reverb stuck out behind the tree, and he's just going to nade himself. That's a toxic thing to do. He just killed himself out in the storm instead of allowing another team from being able to get a kill. Playing a little bit potentially hardcore and wanted to make sure he denies people points, but still got to respect the hustle. Moving onwards, we've got 8 teams left, 29 people, 13 minutes into the game. We're going to be down 3 teams so far, and that circle isn't going to be a 1-1, so a bit disappointed, but we are going to be seeing G3, so House Electric, and also House, I think that is actually a Smoke, going to be having to make their way up north.
See, 1 player remaining for the side of Vossmundo, aka House Crystal. Lockout, we've seen you do it before. Please tell us you can do it again. Never mind, I may or may not have slightly cursed you. It's a caster curse, Tom. That's what I'm blaming.
For sure. Well, Blaze is going to be back in the game, but he has a pistol to his name. So, and Nunes as well. So they have pistols, and they're going to have to try and float down to their teammate. And I don't think that's going to be a good move, because I think, wait, did his teammate, is Blazer dead? No, their teammate, Lockout died.
Lockout died, yeah.
So they now have very little, but they're going to catch Pavel out in the open, in the water. Oh, no, sorry. It wasn't even Blazer, it was someone else. So now the Blazer is going to have to hide in this tower and hope this team didn't see him. And keep in mind, like, Team Fire, or House Fire, sorry, being represented by Basu, they're on fire and getting kills after kills right now, and there is just no way Blaze is going to be able to survive this encounter.
Oh, he can certainly try. Tommy, that knocked down one of those players with a pistol. Oh my. Okay, with an Uzi in hand. Okay, I see you. I see what you did. I respect the effort. At least you knocked down one of those players.
I honestly thought he was going to be able to get a flush or something on there, but he doesn't. And so far the map is getting dominated by House Fire. Once again, just a different fire team, although we do have 2 fire teams still left standing, if I'm right in saying. And Vestamato still have a team member left in here. It's going to be Nunes, who's going to be stuck in part of Brasilia by himself, in which House Fire are going to be pushing into. Oh, we actually have 3 House Fires alive at this point. That's incredible.
I respect the hustle, honestly. I feel like all of these teams are bringing their A game. Oh my god, okay.
Okay, well, we've just seen House Crystal absolutely decimated, so that is actually going to be 1 member left standing for a House Crystal team, and that is going to be Nunes, who's stuck in the middle of a very difficult situation, probably going to die very soon. We have got House Smoke getting under fire, House Fire versus House Fire situation on here, Hetler versus Bullseye.
I'm hearing shots going on back and forth, Tom, and I feel like this is... If I'm in a situation like this, I would definitely just be running for cover. I want the placement points, particularly if I, don't necessarily have a numbers advantage. I think Nunes, in a situation like this, definitely try and hide, get as much cover as possible, and play for those ultimate placement points, because that's really your best bet right now. Sure, you can maybe eliminate 1 or 2 players, but in the grand scheme of things, those placement points are definitely going to do you a whole lot more good.
Yeah, and I mean, unfortunately for him, he's trapped in a building which is just notoriously hard to hold as a single player. He would need a bunch of glue walls to be able to stand a single chance, and he has 1, which is impressive, considering he came into this building with nothing aside from a pistol and level 1 armor. Luckily, they're not pushing in, and they actually have no reason to push into this building unless they work out that it's just 1 player, in which they should 100% just make sure they clear out a snake from that building, which is what I think they'll end up doing. King Sebi for House Electric, last one alive for House Electric, and then there's 1 House Crystal left, and then there's 2 whole teams for House Fire, which is fairly impressive. Oh, Fire is going to be getting Fire XL is going to get involved with this fight.